Hello everyone, John here with a big old Sakurai translation. So all of this information comes from Masahiro Sakurai's recent book, and the translations come from Ayumi Takibana from Smashboards. So there's a lot of stuff in here and some brand new information, so without further ado, let's just dive in. So ever since Smash became a thing, there are those who wanted characters like Goku and Iron Man, and Sakurai's gone out of his way to say that he doesn't think characters like that can happen in Smash. This is purely a gaming crossover, so Goku and Shrek and whoever else probably never gonna make it in. I know, big shock, right? He also states that Smash is not a series where you think about continuation, so characters aren't held back for the next entry, and DLC characters don't impact what's going on with the next game. Which I guess makes sense, with characters like Bayonetta launching very late into Smash Wii U's lifecycle. Now this one may hurt for some fans, but Sakurai wants Smash to be more casual orientated and see non-competitive tournaments. He sees Smash as a party game, but he also knows he's not the only one to interpret what it can and can't be. And back in the Smash Wii U and 3DS days, there were restrictions on how many updates you could do on a single game. That was mostly a 3DS limitation, but Wii U had to abide by the same rules. This is why characters like Lucas, Roy and Ryu launched at the same time. Sakurai also states that it's more efficient for the company to start making a brand new game rather than continuously updating the same game. He states that updates are normal these days, but they're also kind of a voluntary service. Now here's a point I found very interesting. So Sakurai thinks it's important to hear voices from those who don't speak up, and real beginners don't speak up. This is a great point because the vocal fans are just that, the fans. So it is of course important to get feedback from a large variety of demographics. Now this one was kind of known. The plan for Smash Ultimate was completed by December 16, 2015, and it is just a coincidence that the last Smash Direct happened on that very day. It wasn't planned. Furthermore, Sakurai's not thinking of doing a Smash Ballot again. However, it was used extensively in Smash Ultimate's development. Bayonetta was the first pick amongst the realizable characters. Above her, there were old veterans like Snake and other characters who they tried negotiating for in the past but got rejected. So this one's kinda sad. So Sakurai was making the plans for Smash Ultimate during a vacation he got for finishing the Smash Wii U DLC. So even when he's on vacation, the guy is still working. Sakurai also states that he treats a character's personality as a game in and of itself. All the new systems certain characters have are newly built for just him or her. And this part's kind of interesting. It's proven true that joining Smash as a character has advertising effects, which of course does make sense, but it also explains why characters like Joker are joining Smash, even though they aren't really prominent on Nintendo platforms. It's just really effective advertising. And when developing Smash Ultimate, Sakurai played through a beta version of Breath of the Wild in just 2 days. This was to learn the ins and outs of the brand new rendition of Link. And this one's certainly interesting. Sakurai thinks that games should not be created based on market research alone, and games made to imitate other games are misfortunate. Data should be used for marketing and management, not to plan new games. Speaking of development though, not many Japanese games have budgets over 10 billion yen, though Sakurai states that 60 billion yen is enough to make every Smash game up to Ultimate. So if anyone had any doubts, Smash is a very expensive project to make. And then Sakurai expresses his desire to have a Smash area in Super Nintendo World, which I guess just culminating all the IPs in a single park kind of is the essence of Smash, but I think Sakurai wants something a bit more direct. Now this sounds very similar to Smash Bros. Brawl. So Smash Ultimate's DLC was not a thing around the time of Famitsu Column 546. The DLC was planned without the developer's will. So how Nintendo would have done this without Sakurai and crew? I honestly don't know. DLC developments in general take time, so by the time it releases, the market will be much smaller than it used to be. DLC business is far more risky than people might think, though Sakurai states that it's not so much selling the DLC, but rather gathering the staff. Sometimes it's better just to move on to a brand new game. And despite Smash essentially having a season pass, Sakurai is not fond of season passes. He says it's a little scary to buy without knowing the contents. Back on the development front, Omega and Battlefield variants of stages take a lot more work than people may think. And considering there's like 200 of these, I can believe it. He also comments on HAL's involvement, saying they're still credited, but they're not involved in development anymore. And this kinda goes hand in hand with the Omega stages. Sakurai says if you're thinking about the completion of development, bringing back every character is not something you should do. And again, I can believe it, developing that many characters is a huge toll. The team were very careful with leaks around E3 2018. They didn't use any printed material to avoid leaks. Everyone who's here wasn't even known by Nintendo, so when it happened, Nintendo staff were also cheering. And this is another comment on development. People say why can't you do this easy stuff? But there's a reason for that. One correction could cause another bug. Okay, and this is very interesting. The story idea for World of Light has existed since Brawl, and the idea of spirits was kind of a last resort. He's not quite sure that gameplay like the spirits will ever come back for future titles, though there was a plan to include a map like the spirits in the adventure mode in Super Smash Bros. Melee, though ultimately this was scrapped. Sakurai also states he doesn't follow internet reactions and doesn't know of many fan predictions, so I guess the Smash Ballot was the ideal way of letting him know who you wanted in the game. Alright, now for the most important one. Sakurai said he took a long vacation, but actually he was just taking breaks as the calendar goes. He's a cat person, so he can't go for a long trip. Sakurai, go and take your cat with you to Hawaii. Just go, enjoy. By the time of March 2019, the online win ratio for every character is very close to each other, to the point where Sakurai thinks better not change it anymore. There are metas, so certain characters being strong at the time is not a good enough reason to make them change. So it sounds like Sakurai is just happy with the game as it is at the moment. A lot of cool details in here, and it's always great to hear a more personal side from Sakurai. It's also good to hear he had a break, the guy deserves it. So let us know what you guys think about all this down below, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for a lot more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye.